Good evening, welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. Tonight we have the Diamond Crown Maximus, which is a Duro cigar. Um, this particular one seems like it might have some humidification issues, but that's not to say anything about the cigar, just this one. Judging by the few tears in the leaf. Has a nice consistent color. It's pretty smooth textured tobacco. Doesn't really feel like sandpaper, just a smooth tobacco. Nice consistent color throughout. Aroma-wise, I'm not getting too much off the wrapper. And off of the foot, maybe like moist earth. Moist earth. From what I remember, these are good cigars. This one.
It's a nice little Robusto. It's a little lumpy. You can tell it's hand-rolled cigar. We've got one little fine crack. I agree. They might be a little dry. I got them in El Paso at one of the local shops there. But I think they'll perform all right. They've been in the humidor a little while, but we'll see. Aroma, I agree off the wrapper. I don't get much, maybe like a mild tobacco. But off the foot, I get like a nice creamy chocolate, maybe a bit of vanilla as well. It's very, very nice and sweet for me. Just overall very nice. Wyatt?
Yeah, we've had the Julius Caesar and really like that. I've never had the the Maximus of the Diamond Crown series, so I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm with Steve. It's a very model wrapper. I mean, like Justin said, you can tell it's a hand-rolled cigar, but definitely very, very model. Seams are visible, and there's a lot of stems throughout. But I'm hoping for really, really good smoke here. But on the aromas, I don't get much of anything off the wrapper, but on the foot, I agree. Real nice, creamy chocolate. And some, Steve said, like moist earth, but it's more of a dry earth. It's good.
Mine's real firm. Not hard, but it's definitely a firmly rolled cigar. It cut real well for me. Some veins, but nothing big to talk about. The seams all look good. Again, nothing much off the wrapper as far as any aroma. Off the foot, I would agree with what Justin said. There is a little bit of a vanilla aroma to it. Very nice, very faint, but I'm looking forward to this. This is my first time having this cigar.
Let's get it cut up, see how it goes.
Pretty powerful first puff for me. Really rich tobacco. Pretty dry for me. The smoke is kind of drying. There's a real faint pepper, but I was expecting pepper and I didn't really get it. Very dry earth and rich tobacco. Great start.
I agree. It's very, very earthy. It's got a nice earthy core to it. Some rich tobacco. I don't get much pepper or any type of spice. To me, I start to kind of pick up that kind of sweet vanilla on the finish. Very, very faint for me. It's kind of just comes in on the finish, and it's very, very light, but very, very enjoyable.
Yes, I agree definitely with the earth. It's definitely there, very pleasant. Starting off as a full-bodied smoke. So far, very enjoyable.
I described these first few puffs as very smooth on this particular cigar. I was a little concerned because it was so firm. I thought it might be too tightly rolled, but really nice. Just the faintest bit of, not even what I would call pepper, just the faintest bit of spice. but very pleasant, very nice, clean aftertaste to it, nice finish. Very good start.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right.
Well, let's get into the first third. See how it develops.
Welcome back. We're about halfway through this Diamond Crown Maximus. Still a very nice, smooth but rich cigar. Full bodied. Earth is still predominant. And, still a bit of chocolate. Still very pleasant, not much change.
Yeah, it's still performing very well. Still medium to full in body, about a medium in strength. Flavors for me, that cedar's building for me. Sweetness has kind of died down a little bit, and it's still hovering around there in the finish, but it's just nowhere near as potent as it was in the first part of the cigar. Right now, I still get a nice earthy core, but the cedar's picked up for me, and that's kind of the first fiddle, so to speak, is the cedar. What?
You know, there's a nuttiness that's been building in this cigar for a while for me, and it's sort of like it's a cashew. I really don't want to put a specific type of nut to it, but that cedar's been building for me as well. It's a very complex cigar, especially in the second half that we've gotten into it. There's a lot of different flavors that are building. That chocolate is building, and there's even a little bit of coffee going around in there in the finish. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a particularly heavy cigar, and we're smoking this at the end of the day, so it's good for flavor, and it's not heavy, and we really like that here. So, no complaints.
Agreed. For me, the cedar is getting more pronounced. I would agree with what Wyatt said about the coffee on the finish. The finish itself is getting a lot longer for me. It's quite a bit more substantial, which is a good thing because I really enjoy this cigar. And like Wyatt said, it's not overpowering, even though this is my fourth cigar of the day. Really liking it. The burn is still, it's fairly good. It's corrected itself somewhat. I did touch it up a little bit, and it kind of took off from there. So still very happy with this cigar.
Alright, well, let's get into the final third. See if we get any changes.
Welcome back. We're at the end of this Diamond Crown Maximus. Throughout, a very good cigar. Good flavor, a balanced flavor with strength, very, very well. Definitely a cigar I would smoke again. This one kind of came apart for me at the end. Because the other guys didn't have that problem, but could just be a humidity issue. I would rate the cigar a 9 out of 10. Great cigar.
Yeah, very, very nice cigar. Very pleasant throughout. There's a lot going on. I don't want to say it's not complex, but it kind of, in this final third, they all kind of molded together. That cedar's still very prominent, nice earthy core, but I started to get hints of a little bit of chocolate, coffee that they had mentioned earlier, and now they've kind of all molded together into a finish. It's very nice, but it's hard to pick out the individual flavors. But you know, it's the end of the cigar. You halfway kind of expect that now that it's getting, the smoke's a little hot and it's a little mushy. But overall, very nice cigar. Around a medium to full in body, and around a medium in strength. Very nice. If I was going to rate it, I'd give it a little lower. I'd give it an 8.5. It was good, but I kind of expected more from Diamond Crown for as expensive as these cigars are. They're a little mottled. Wasn't the best construction. It performed well, but it just didn't look like a really high quality cigar. It just didn't have that looks, and I guess that really isn't some reason to knock a cigar, because it still tasted excellent. It just, you know, not. I should say I like the Julius Caesar from Diamond Crown, so I kind of compare everything to that, and this just didn't quite meet up to that, but still a very good cigar. So 8.5.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one is I don't know, the higher up between the two, the Julius Caesar or the Maximus, but I'm more of a fan of the Julius Caesar. I agree with Justin. I have been very impressed with the construction of this cigar. They were a little bit dry, and I had a big piece of the wrapper kind of slowly coming up, but it burned right through, no problem. I was really worried that it would be a problem, but it isn't. Even down here at the nub point, you know, it's still holding together really well. You know, and I know Steve's had a few construction issues, but I didn't have that. You know, the tastes weren't really I mentioned complexity before, but they weren't really complex in the way that, all the way through the cigar you're getting different flavors. I mean, there was a change at the halfway point, but it kind of stuck to those changes throughout the second half of the cigar. I'd agree with an 8.5. I wasn't as impressed with this one as I was with Julius Caesar, but it is still very good. You get a lot of different tastes, and for me, it wasn't particularly heavy. It was more focused on flavor, and of course, we really like that here. Definitely sort of an end of your day, winding down type of stick. So yeah, worth picking up, worth trying out.
And the guys mentioned the Diamond Crown Julius Caesar. A good friend of mine named Doc, he knew Julius Caesar, and he would say, "You, sir, are no Julius Caesar," and it's not. But it's a good cigar. The burn actually got better as the cigar went along. To me, that cedar has become really strong. Not overbearing, but very strong. The finish has got progressively longer as the cigars burned. I do like the fact that it didn't get really hot. It's I'm down to about 1.5 inches, and I don't feel like I've got a fireball. So good cigar. I'd probably give it an 8, just because I think for the price point, it's a little too small. If you want to charge that price, then I'd like to see a little bit more in size and a little bit more tobacco here. And we always talk about we drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee here at Desert Smoke Reviews, and it goes well with that. It also goes really well with the double chocolate donut. So there's that. Definitely an 8 for me.
Well, in conclusion, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, smoke 'em if you got 'em.